The defence.
Did you say Slot's the new Bob Paisley?
Yeah, when Shanks left it to Bob, watch what happens with Slot. We're going to win a lot.
This is what we're dealing with now. Arne Slot, the new guy who has come into one of the biggest teams in the world, is becoming so dominant that he's now being compared to arguably Liverpool's GOAT manager. Bob Paisley followed Bill Shankly after he resurrected Liverpool Football Club. Now, in what feels like history repeating itself, is that Arne Slot followed Jurgen Klopp, who in many people's eyes was very much a Shankly-like figure. Jurgen pulled the club out of mediocrity and made many people believe again. Are the Slot comparisons with Paisley true? What's he done that's getting him mentioned in the same light? And what are his drawbacks? Is Arne Slot really the new Bob Paisley? Arne Slot's 2024-25 season could not have gotten off to a better start.
6 from 6. Janusz Michalik. Can anything stop Liverpool right now? 6 from 6, looking very happy indeed, specifically in the Champions League and the Premier League.
That's it. I don't think even Arne Slot would have been able to predict such a blistering start to his campaign as manager. He's got Liverpool top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, into the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup, and we're still only in December. I mean, they've been ahead of the pack since, and have become the team to beat this season.
If we put this into comparison where teams have been at this stage in the season, when teams have had this lead, they've gone on to win the Premier League title.
The stats ain't lying, and he's got history on his side as well. Arne Slot's Liverpool debut season as manager could be something special, and if he manages to achieve what he's on course for this season, we could be in for the start of a period of dominance for the team. But there's something about the man that makes you believe he wants more.
Well, maybe you could say we were outplayed the first half. They were better on the ball, they were more aggressive without the ball, and everything changed the second half because the second half was completely the opposite.
This is Slot complaining about his team's performance despite a win. That's the type of man he is, a perfectionist. Even when the team gets the results, for him, it's about how they play and the way they play. He's trying to build a system into the club. A really honest guy too.
Yeah, that was my opinion about Chelsea back then, and that's still my opinion, but I'm not there to judge.
He said this after the 2-1 win over Chelsea, a game that was openly balanced. Chelsea played better, but Liverpool got the result. We're highlighting this to show what Arne Slot brings to the current Liverpool team. He wants them to play a brand of football that's not only guaranteed results, but the type he can build on as well.
Yes, 20 games as Liverpool manager, and Arne Slot has won 18 of them. We've talked about some of his players and how impressive they are, but how impressed have you been with him, with Arne Slot?
He's cool, isn't he? He's a cool guy, and the players are.
Hey, I mean, if you're getting praise from Roy Keane, a former Manchester United captain, as the coach of Liverpool, that's saying something. I tell you who else is saying something. It's Matchday 365. We spend hours creating quality content like this for you. And on your part, all you got to do is subscribe to the channel. That's it. And smash that like button too while you're at it. It might just be a few months in, but Arne Slot is already impressing the rest of the country. Not just with the results in different competitions, but his understanding of the game as well. That's him discussing tactics after they beat United at Old Trafford under United's former manager, Erik ten Hag. Slot brilliantly exposed the United setup, how the team played, what the drawbacks were, and how he believed his team could get the best out of them. Apart from being an honest guy, he's a brilliant tactician. And knows how to find solutions too. Agreed. We'll get to some of the changes he's made to the team, particularly to some individuals who many believed had mixed careers at Liverpool, and how he's got them on some incredible form now. But there's something else about Slot that's going under the radar. When he first arrived at the team, the belief was that Liverpool was getting a tactical genius, similar to Pep Guardiola. But as the man himself has stated, he just wants to get the best out of his players by getting more energy out of them. Arne Slot so far is proving to be a solution provider at Liverpool. He's already started breaking records along the way. The first Liverpool manager to win 11 out of his 12 games in all competitions. He's got Liverpool contending hard for 3 different trophies. But for Slot, it's about the end game and not the hype around it. His ambition and main aim is to win trophies. That's simple. To do that, he's going to need a team. And I guess it's pretty safe to say the one he's got, well, he's turned them into something different. Listen to Van Dijk talk about Slot, and in what he says, the key takeaway has to be how Slot has seamlessly transitioned into this Liverpool team. He stated in the past that the ideas between himself and Klopp are very similar. But one thing we can say for a fact so far is how he has improved players and taken them to new levels. Ryan Gravenberch, a sensational part of the team under Slot so far, also a player who months back didn't seem like he had a guaranteed future at the club. With the way Slot plays in that midfield setup, Gravenberch has become a solution. Slot's right. Ryan Gravenberch has always been an attacking-minded midfielder, right from his days at Ajax, even to the few times he was on the pitch for Bayern. But this season, under Slot, Gravenberch has evolved into something more. At 6'2" tall, his physical ability allows him to be strong on the ball, and Slot used him in a position where we are now seeing Gravenberch complete defensive actions, as well as evolve with the attacking aspect of his game. It's not just Gravenberch. The likes of Cody Gakpo, a player who was a rotational part of the team at best under Klopp, has been in sensational form for Slot this season. The goal against Real Madrid, or the one against City. Goals in big games. Against Fulham with 10 men, Gakpo helped the team win a goal to salvage a point. He's now become the clinical version of what we've been expecting him to be ever since he made the move to Merseyside. The same goes for Luis Diaz, a very technical player who under Slot has now combined his unique dribbling ability with the end product. Diaz is scoring goals, giving assists and getting into dangerous positions for the team. You're here now, and that means you most likely have subscribed to Matchday 365 by now. But if you haven't, just click the button down below. The likes of Kostas Tsimikas or Curtis Jones, a player who had shone under Slot this season, particularly in the game against Chelsea with a man-of-the-match performance. You get the idea by now. Arne Slot has gotten players who were seemingly in and out of the team under Jurgen Klopp and turned them into important versions of his team. Even the established players, like the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's the same with these guys too. Salah with Slot knows that it's more about controlling the game, more than just simply attacking it. And with this, it's improving his numbers. He's the joint highest scorer in the league, and provides assists as well. On Trent Alexander-Arnold's part, he's bound to become a different player under Slot. And it's working. This season, the defensive frailties at right back you'd usually associate with Alexander-Arnold aren't quite there anymore. This is him doing a job on Rafael Leao, one of the world's best left wingers at the moment. All of this, guys, just goes to show the tremendous work Slot has had on his team. He's gotten both established and fringe players playing at the top of their game. Everyone understands what the idea is, and that's to win under him. With the way he's got on playing, Liverpool could very well become champions by the time the league concludes in May. If he manages that, it'd still be quite some way off Bob Paisley, and on the aspect of these two, there's something in there. What's the argument? After the legendary Bill Shankly rebuilt the Liverpool team of the mid-90s, Bob Paisley took over and made them winners. He won 9 trophies in 9 years, and looking at Slot now, we might just be witnessing the same thing. Bob Paisley took over an existing Liverpool team and made them better, and so far that's what Arne Slot is doing. We've already touched on how he is improving players and getting the best out of them, but a big part of his tenure as manager so far is that his Liverpool team keeps finding ways to win. Combining winning performances with results, the hallmark of Paisley's team was that they could win games, and they became better at it, and that's what we're seeing with his Slot team. To back this up, let's do a bit of results comparison. Liverpool versus Manchester United at Old Trafford this season. They ran out 3-0 winners. The reverse fixture last season, a 2-2 draw. And I should add that the Reds also got eliminated from the FA Cup in the same fixture last season. Or the game versus Manchester City at Anfield, a 2-0 win. Last season it was a 1-1 draw that could have been more. The point is, could have been and ifs. We saw what Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool team, particularly in the final season of the reign as manager. We are seeing a more efficient team under Slot now, and that's why Paisley was all about. The talk about winning the league has mainly been from fans and pundits. On his part, the manager isn't getting carried away.
No, not at all. Well, yeah, I was happy with the result, let that be clear, but the performance was not of our standards, I would say.
He said this after the Girona game. The Reds didn't win, but Slot wasn't happy about the performance. It just goes to show how much he wants to improve his team, and he's ready to take it game after game, rather than looking ahead and getting carried away. There are a lot of features about Slot that make him a likeable person. He's a cheeky guy.
were a pain in the ass for Liverpool many times as well. So we knew it was a big week, but I said if this week is over, next week is a big week again.
This was him admitting how much Real Madrid was a pain for Liverpool, meaning he'd understood the importance of the game and how significant the result over the reigning Champions League winners was, even though it was only a Champions League group stage game. Or this funny remark about Manchester City's 115 charges.
Maybe Mo knows more about the 115 acquisitions that are done, so he expects them not to be in the Premier League next season.
Taking these digs like this, it makes you believe that Slot's in tune with the club. He knows how important the games are. Some carry even more weight, the passion behind each one, and how he sets his team to win. Judging by facts alone, Slot is on course to make his legacy at Liverpool. But can we compare him to Bob Paisley? I mean, that'd be asking a lot. In his 9 years at the club, Bob Paisley's trophy count was ridiculous. That will take some topping. But then again, Slot knows where he is at. Playing for Liverpool every day, the pressure is on. It's the same thing with being the manager. He's at a team that demands results. The status of the club, and what they've been for years now, demands that Liverpool keeps the tradition up and continues to compete. And that's what Slot is doing. It'll be very interesting to watch Liverpool play as the season unfolds. But one thing's for certain, if they keep playing the way they are, there's no stopping them. A mix of free-flowing football that's providing results game after game. Labelling Arne Slot as the new Bob Paisley might just be the Liverpool way of describing him as a Klopp successor. The similarities are there. He's taken over an existing team and remodelled that, a result-effective machine. What do you guys think? Is it too early to judge Arne Slot? Is the Bob Paisley praise too far? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel as well.